Alright guys, we are out here for the review on the Model One Voyager from Unagi. Now, if you just look at the scooter, it is probably one of the sleeker, city, futuristic type scooters that I have personally ridden on. I mean, even the handlebars are kind of got this, slicked off, some cool angles and stuff, built-in display up here in the headset handlebar combo. And then we've got our throttle here to go. We've got our brake on this side, which at first I thought was another motor like you do by both motors. I was sorely mistaken because it's the brake, and the brake's pretty good. So just know that this one's the brake over here by the horn, which we'll test later when we turn this bad boy on. But just from a looks perspective, this thing has got a really cool vibe. I mean, even the front up here, you see it kind of tapers down a little bit, then it pops back out. It's got some really cool angles, and from a design perspective, it's pretty sexy, honestly. We got the integrated headlight up here, so we got this nice, smooth finish look up front. We've got this really cool kickstand that hides away. Actually hides away really well, so that's it. That's all you see of the kickstand. At first I was like, does this thing even come with a kickstand? But yeah, it's just right there. It's enough to still grab with your foot, pop it down, blammo kabammo. We got a charging port on this side, and we've got the Unagi branding here along the deck. Not a huge deck, not super wide, but it is fairly long. And we do get decking all the way up here to the front of the scooter, so really is quite a bit of space. Like I said, it's a little bit thinner, but space-wise, length-wise is pretty good. And this, I just kind of get a little bit of the profile of it. We got two cables over here, so all in all, very slick scooter. Now, for folding this thing is super easy. It's just a one-button system, so let me see if I can do that with one hand here. So all you have to do is press this down, and it folds down, and then clicks into place, and you can pick it up. And this thing is sub 30 pounds, right at about 30 pounds, and honestly is very portable. The nice thing about having this grip is it does get smaller right here, so if you had a bit of a smaller hand, it's still a decent spot to grab it. Now to pop it back up, all you do is push this down like so. I'm just going to use my foot because I'm holding the camera with the other one. And then you just pop it up, boom, and now it's in place. So as far as like portability goes, this thing is super easy to do. I mean, I was just doing that with one hand and holding a camera in the other side. But all in all, this thing is pretty sweet. It does come with a pretty cool app. Go ahead and turn it on over here. I don't know how much of this display is coming through. Checking on the camera right now. It looks like it's not quite synced up to get you a good idea, but imagine it's not flickering and looking like all crazy. It's pretty slick. Right now here at the bottom, you can see that. You see the two little circles here. That's letting me know that we have it in dual motor mode because this thing has two 250 watt motors, one in the front and one in the rear. Peak wattage of about 1,000 watts, top speed of 20 miles per hour. And this is something that's going to get some pretty decent range on it for what it is and the price point it's at. We do have the option to only have one motor on, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up the app for us here. Look at that, nice little refresh right here so we can see what's going on here. It'll tell you the distance to empty right here, or battery percentage. You can flop back and forth between those. We can put it into single motor. You heard it beep over here. If you can see, it has got one motor on there. But let's put it on two, because this is what we do. You can change the speed here, and that is also going to dictate how much we have. So speed 1, we got 7.3 miles left. Speed 2, 8.1. Speed 3, 7.4. So it is going to show us, a good thing. We put it in one motor. It's going to give us a little less range, ironically. And you can turn the lights on from here. So we turn the lights on. Boom, we get the lights on this side. Now the lights are not necessarily bright enough to be like your only source of illumination if you're going to be riding around at dark, but it definitely is something that's nice to have integrated here so people can see you coming. And then we've also got brakes in the back, and we also have braking integration here. So if you can see that light down here, as we go and press on our brake here, which I'm doing up here at the top, it's going to flash letting you know that you're coming to a stop. And we do also have the option of our mechanical brake right here. It's very spring loaded and does have some nice grip on this side, so if you want to stop a little bit quicker, and like I said, the brakes on here work really well, but let's say you want to stop a little bit quicker or just add some stopping power to there, you can always have the option to press down on this, which that was cool, kind of a throwback to the old school scooters that we all burnt our feet on. Now that is a majority of the scooter. A couple things here, like I mentioned, we have the brakes on this side, we got a horn here, not super loud, but it'll let somebody know that you're coming. We have the power on this side, which isn't going because I'm not on the scooter, which is nice. And then we can sort through a couple different things here in the menu. And if we press the power button, that will take us between having the lights on or lights off. So a couple different options here. Let's go ahead and pop on this thing and see how she handles. Like I said, we've got it in dual mode, so it does have quite a bit of torque. I think online it's listed as 40, 45, something like that. But because this is a smaller form factor scooter and it is on the lighter side, it does feel a little bit more torquey, even though you don't necessarily have to elicit that out of the motor when you pull the throttle. So let's go ahead and pop on here for the ride test. Boom. Ride test time. Let's go ahead and throw up that kickstand. That just hides over here. And let's go ahead and do a little riding. I don't know if you can hear it, but it was sorting. It was sort of starting to peel out a little bit. And we got up to 15, 16 miles per hour fairly quickly there. And this is in dual motor mode. So let's go ahead and hit our brake on this side. See what I mean? This is a very solid brake. Go ahead and swap into single mode, and let's see if that changes. Definitely feels a lot less torquey and is taking a lot longer for us to get up to that 15, 16 miles per hour. If you're looking for a scooter that's just, easy, approachable, light, and you're not necessarily looking for that torquey power curve, it is nice that it's sort of geared for that without you having to go into an advanced menu and change around a bunch of settings. But this is not my style, guys. Let's go ahead and, again, we'll pop this out, throw it into dual mode here. The light's off to conserve some battery here. Let's go ahead and keep on riding. Definitely a much more me experience having the two motors on there. Also, the sky seems so blue today. Does it seem blue in the video? It seems blue in real life. Now, top speed on this is supposed to be 20 miles per hour. I've gotten it up to 17. Now, I am a little bit on the larger side for a scooter like this. So 5'10", 5'11", 220 pounds. If you're somebody who is, smaller and lighter, you would probably have a more, torquey experience, get up to those top speeds a little bit quicker. Now the wheels we have here, they are a 7.5 inch solid tire. Now what's cool about these ones is you don't have to worry about a flap. So if you live in a spot where there's a bunch of broken glass or nails or just other types of things that would spell disaster on a scooter, you don't have to worry about that with this one because you don't have any air in there. It's no flats ever. The riding experience is super simple. Like I said, we've got the throttle on this side, and we got a good, decent coast as well. So it's not one of those things where as soon as you let off, it's going to kind of lurch you forward. It's a really nice feel there. And then with the brake, we can, obviously we can shut that off pretty quick. And if we do put on the brake, it is going to override the motor. So even if for some reason you had this clamped down, it's still going to stop you like it's supposed to, which is just a nice little safety feature to see. Now, this is not something that is going to be, going super fast or necessarily super far. So depending on what sort of commute you have, this may not be exactly what you're looking for in a commute scooter. But if you're somebody who's got to go a mile or two, hop on a subway, then you got to do another mile or two, this is something where I see that being pretty much perfect for somebody who's looking for that type of ride. Just because, you can fold it up super well, and it is pretty light. Go ahead and hit a little bit of an incline here. Pretty much held, if not accelerated a little bit up through there, which is pretty cool. And we're just cruising. Yeah, the horn's not super loud, which may or may not be a good thing. If you're in a loud city environment, you might want something that's got a little bit more beef on it. But if you're on a little trail like I'm on right now, and you're coming up behind somebody while you're coming, that is a super, I don't know, it seems like a super nice way. It's almost like a good tone too. Something like that. Basically Charlie Puth, guys. I'm the Charlie Puth of e-bikes, okay? That'll be my next song. Call it Scooter Horn. And we're just cruising on through. Now, the nice thing about having these 7.5 inch wheels is that they feel small enough to have a lot of maneuverability. Like, I could just do some serious swerving here. But they are large enough to where it is, eating up a lot of these, small little bumps and things like that. They're not as jarring because we got a little bit of a, better attack angle than if these were, 5-inch wheels or something like that. But a lot of the flexibility of not having a, 10+ inch tire on here. And go around this corner here, head on up this little guy right here. Again, dip down a little bit in speed, but you know how when you're on something you can kind of feel it starting to struggle? It seems like it almost just figures itself out a little bit. Like it's like, all right, we're going up a hill. Okay, you're gonna need to put in a little more power here. And then it seems like it kicks in and helps you, go up those inclines. We're gonna test it out on a pretty steep incline here in just a second to really test that out. And another thing I'd like to try, I'm just gonna hit the rear brake back here. It's a pretty reasonable stop. It's not as powerful as using the brakes up here, but if for some reason your hands were full, and they shouldn't be when you're riding a scooter, but if they were, you can always pop your foot back there and get some stopping power, which is pretty dope. You hear that front motor peeling out a little bit. Let's go ahead and test the brakes going down this incline right here. Not enough to do a full stop, but I definitely felt like I was in control as I was braking down there. And do a little circling around, and let's head on up this bad boy. And she did it. That is nice. There's some e-bikes that can't do that. Struggled a little bit towards the end, but she did it. Oh, there we go. I got it that time. I just leaned back a little bit, and then we are good to go. So even if you're on a pretty steep decline, you'll be able to, brake efficiently, which is nice. Go ahead and turn it around here. This brake is nice. It's almost more powerful than you expect. From a safety perspective, not a bad thing at all. Yeah, you take the right angle, you can get up some stuff. Now, let's say you run out of battery and you need to use this as an actual scooter. Let's go ahead and see what the scooting is like on this bad boy. I wouldn't say it's ideal, but it's definitely something where, especially if you had a little bit of decline in your kick mute, which is a commute that you kick on, it wouldn't be horrible to ride that thing around like an actual scooter. But obviously this is a lot more fun, and you go a lot more faster. I like that. this. I'll let off of the gas here. Like I said, we do get a nice coast out of it, which is something that with electric scooters and electric skateboards specifically, it's kind of hit or miss. Sometimes you get a nice coaster, sometimes you won't, but these ones, they give us a nice little coaster. Well guys, that is going to be our review on the Voyager Model 1. If you guys want to know more about it, I'll have a link to them somewhere down below. And if you guys got any questions for us, let us know in the comments. Love talking to you guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. Trying to figure out what they're doing over there.